He found out what to do. So, I cheated on my husband about 6 months ago. He found out by going to paste something that he thought he had copied on the PC, but ended up pasting an entire message I had wrote to the person I was having an affair with. Great. Here's where the good and bad began. Good because that guy I was having an affair with was a mistake. Completely. And bad obviously due to my husband finding this out in a worst possible way while I was at work. So, we hashed it out majorly. Some pretty rough, turbulent times going. Why and how horrible I am. The grief, the guilt, the pain, the loss of the things I was doing which obvious caused some enjoyment or I wouldn't have been doing it in the first place. And my HB decided to stay with me and that we would work on things. And we have been doing so for 6 months. However, this is the problem. He cannot forgive me. We can have a great day, or a great week, or we can be just okay and getting along and then, suddenly, out of the blue in my opinion, he's depressed, which causes or turns into anger, and he's lashing out at me, or remarks etc. when all I have been doing is being me, living our life. Working, being mom, meaning I haven't done anything wrong that day he lashes out on me, or even that week, etc. I just don't think it is fair that if he chose to stay in this relationship and if I am not doing anything wrong, I am being honest and a good wife and mom, I don't think it's fair that he can just be mean over something that happened 6 months ago that I cannot erase. I can never take it back. We can only move forward or really on be in today. I have tried to explain this to him numerous times, but never really listens or understands. He only sees his point of view and starts yelling and guess what? Leaves. He's gone for good he says tonight, and I honestly think he means it this time. I am sad. I wish he would have left initially almost. I wish he could see that I have changed and the good that I am doing. But anytime I want to see a girlfriend even with my kids with me, he is not okay with that. He has become controlling beyond belief. Now we are divorcing because I went to my best friend's 7-year-old son's basketball game and to her home for a few hours on his off day. Because I intentionally did that to hurt him, he says. Because I knew he needed me as he is depressed, and needed me. I'm sorry, but I would like to continue somewhat of a social life outside our marriage and maybe have at least one friend. He is a chef and works 14 hours a day typically and we are opposite schedules. I think all the problems stem from this. I am a full-time worker and mom the rest of the evening, and maid, then at 11:30 at night when he gets home. I am expected to be a fabulous wife too. When do I ever get me time to be me and be relaxed? I guess what I wanted to ask is, can this ever be mended? He seems to not understand where I am coming from, only sees that I don't love him. Which in turn every time he says that to me or asks for more affection, when we are fighting, it makes me think that he doesn't really love me for who I am. He wants me to change or to act or be someone that I am not being currently. Which is me. So, I think he doesn't love me. We are a mess. We can't communicate effectively at all. We tend to only see our own perspective. Me too, I guess. But I understand he is hurt. I just can't erase what happened. All I can do is be respectful and honest and not lie going forward, and that's what I'm doing, but it is not enough. I need a friend too, and my friend and I only see each other like 2 times per month. And tonight HB tells me I choose my friend over him anytime. Nope. I am with HB literally every day he is off, which are my work days, so only for about 5 hours those days. But he is off 2 days per week. And I see my friend like 2 times a month. What the hell? Had it planned all week, and he knew it then blew up as soon as I was about to leave. A reason to end this? I don't know why. Jealousy, fear, all kinds of things probably. I am tired of walking on eggshells if I want to do anything. It's the main problem. He feels like if I go anywhere on his off day that means I don't love him. I feel trapped and suffocated. I do love him. Prep. I invited him to come, would have been nice, but nope. I personally, if my HB had cheated on me most likely would have called it quits straight away as I know that I would always have doubts and not strong enough to handle that. But he chose to stay and to work things out, and now I guess is realizing even though he has tried he simply can't. I talked to him today and stated pretty much what you said, that our relationship will never be the same. It can't be, unfortunately. But that does not mean that it still can't be good, or even great. Just that he will never blindly trust me again most likely. I told him that this was okay and that I understood that, but that in order to move forward he must forgive. He can't keep bringing things up anytime a TV show or movie triggers his emotions. Well, I mean, of course he should be able to bring it up and talk about it as adults if it is bothering him, but he cannot just lash out at me and claim depressed, unhealthy, and not resolving anything, also hurting the relationship further. He said how can he know if I am really there? Well, first of all, our 7-year-old daughter's with me, and besides, how long do I have to endure not being able to go anywhere without getting threatened by divorce? Or told I don't love him? I find it somewhat ridiculous. Yes, I did horribly wrong. But for how long do I suffer? I mean, do you really think it is okay to freak out about something whenever you want just because something bad happened to you in your past? No, and who wants to be with someone who has no friends and no life besides work? I do blame myself. I am the root of the cause and the problem. I am fully aware of that. It hurts and it sucks. It hurts him the most. However, I feel that he has taken me down even further, and that I cannot be fully in love with him while he is treating me this way. I do love my HB and he is a great man and father. I want to be married to him forever if we can just get past this, but I am afraid that we may not be able to. We are on a downward spiral and it doesn't end, only subsides, then resurfaces when his emotions are re-triggered. But then it doesn't become an adult, loving, or even caring talk. It becomes a fight and I'm leaving, done when nothing new has happened. Nothing wrong has been done again. I'm just confused. How do I help him feel safe? Well, I am not very good at this maybe. I feel like me staying home most of the time, most always, and that me letting him know times I will be home if I do go somewhere and sticking to that time, and if running behind to let him know, etc. Always answering him when he calls, etc. We aren't currently doing anything to repair our marriage. We went to counseling separately months ago, and together prior to that, prior to the affair. For other reasons, but currently a big nothing. I did agree today to go through if that is what he wants. But now he is gone, and sounds very serious about this being the end. Very hateful and just done. Dear, I know I have said he chose to stay. I keep saying that I don't know. I am grateful that he stayed to a point, but why stay and make yourself and everyone else around you miserable while not really doing anything but pretending that everything's okay on the days we can sleep together? And then when bonding is null for a few, then freak out all over again. It's just not healthy for any of us. I'm grateful, just getting tired of feeling bad and alone. And I feel not loved as I am certain he does. Again, I am just confused. I am not going to drop my friend who I love as a dear friend. She didn't tell him because she is my friend. They were friends too, but not like we are, of course, but now yeah, things aren't so great between the three of us as he looks at her as a problem. Aiding the situation. I have tried to explain. It's not like she told me to do the things I did, or that she was a vent there. She never was. He cannot forgive me. Comments. So, what have you done to prove that you are worth R? Do you stay with him and spend time with him on one of his days off? Especially when he says he needs you. Or do you once again act selfish and put your own needs ahead of his? Because you need a friend at that time. You are not being a good wife or mom. You are continuing to be a selfish, spoiled wife who thinks everyone else should put your needs ahead of theirs. Even when you were the one to hurt them, he's still angry because you are rug sweeping and continuing to be selfish. You get upset because he only sees his point of view. Do you even see his? You put effort into having an affair. Time and effort you stole away from him and gave to another man. Now you go out to a basketball game with a friend and prioritize that over him. He's still pissed and hurt because you are still showing him that you really couldn't give a rat's ass what he wants as long as you're getting what you want. OP responds, I have told him the details of why I think it happened. Basically due to me needing to fulfill something. Loneliness due to his job and him never being home. Me feeling resentful. Feeling as if a single mom, which I know his job is providing for me and our family and is necessary, and he puts himself through hell for us to have a good life. I have come clean about the details such as where I was, how it happened, who I was with, how many times, whether I was in live with him, etc. I don't think I can get rid of my friend. I don't want to. I need her too, and I can't magically change me overnight. I am trying to work on me. I am trying. I am not the most affectionate or whatever type. I am mostly a selfish arise and I care a lot about me first. I realize this is not a good thing in my personal life. I have had a hard life and other things like being spoiled beyond belief and making the rules for my parents and all kinds of stupid things. I'm trying to learn to be a better person as I can. I work really hard too and my job is so very stressful. So, at the end of my workday, I am mentally exhausted. Some days and more so I feel as if it is not worth it. I need to work on myself but can never find the time or energy as I have to constantly give myself to others at work. The kids, and my HB. I tell him how I feel at the moment I feel it. I don't hold things in or hide my thoughts or feelings to explode later. I try and take on issues as they come, head on. I like to talk about problems. He does not. Only they surface in anger. Sadness gets bad. I tell him that I love him and try and reassure him by words mostly. And some kissing, etc. Is that what people mean by transparency or not? Unfortunately, my friend covered for me once by not answering her cell when he called. So yes, she aided and evaded, but friends stick up for and help their friends. She isn't into the idea of me cheating, didn't even like it. She did what I asked. I don't have many friends, moved around different states all of my life. She is my one true friend I can laugh with and tell anything to. We never laugh anymore, that's the hard, sad part. We just work and pay bills and grind on. I suppose that is a lot of people's lives, but I also suppose they find a friend in their mate. I don't think we are even friends anymore because he simply hates a lot about me, and because I hold resentment and have for some time. and now he does as well. It sucks. Comments. She knew about the affair and did nothing on his behalf. She's bad for the marriage. She helped facilitate the affair by doing nothing. That's how he views her, and rightfully so. See, my husband's friends' excuses were that they didn't know me enough to tell me he was hanging around on me behind my back. I call BS if it had been me who say a friend's spouse messing around behind their backs, you bet. I'd have told that betrayed spouse. Evidence in hand as well. Whether I knew them or not. Sorry, but it's a link to the past indiscretions and it needs to be removed from the equation. She is a threat in his eyes. She knew. She did nothing. What's to say she wouldn't do it again if you did it again? To him, it's just another form of betrayal. 1 year late. OP updates. My HB moved out about 4 months ago. He signed a year lease on an apartment 5 minutes away on October 4th. We were together 8 years, married 4. He left 10 days before our 4th anniversary, which was devastating. He left stating he wasn't throwing in the towel or talking divorce and that he needed to figure things out. Said we had grown apart and he was not in love anymore. He said what is 6 most in a lifetime, etc. I begged and cried and apologized and nothing. Just pushed him further and made him angrier. At first, he was still coming over nightly to tuck the kids in bed and coming over on days off and staying at the home with the kids. Slowly he weaned himself and began never coming at night and calling nightly instead to say goodnight. And watching them at his app. Now he rarely calls and he does still watch the kids in his off days and mostly at his place. Or they go out. So, after a coworker talked me into it, I ordered phone records and found out about 2 most after he had left that he had been talking to a 25-year-old waitress coworker. They had been talking for at least 1 month prior to him leaving. Calls at night for 30 minutes, etc. I confronted him and he got meaner and more distant, and that's why he left. Anyway, I love my HB so much. We have 2 kids, and he was my best friend. I pray and hope we can reconcile as we all deserve another chance. My her and soul ache for him daily. I am standing for my marriage, but so tough. He has been taking about divorce for 2 months now, but hasn't filed anything and has not let me know his plans, even though I have asked and stated I was ready to see lawyer for dissolution when he was for him, because this is still the last thing I want. But he hasn't set anything up and never discusses. Which is good, I tell myself. Lately we haven't been fighting. I am simply nice to him and I still let him know that I welcome him back anytime and how much he means to us. He doesn't respond to that. I'm a mess. I can't function right almost. Any suggestions or advice on what best ways to reach him or help him find his way back home? I know it has to be on his own time and what he desires. I want nothing less. Not him back out of guilt or pity. His coworker comes over to his app and has met our kids. She came and watched a movie with them recently. And is always calling. I'm so sad. I've asked HB not to have kids around her this soon, but he doesn't seem to care. My kids see how devastated and sad I am and this confuses them with her in the picture. I'm trying to let this rebound, MLC or whatever, play itself out and hold strong and love unconditionally. I believe the road he is on, which also carries me with it, is the path to divorce. He refuses to state anything else. However, I have let him know I am ready to go through the process when he is, but that is not what I want and I will not pay for it because of that. He wants us to do a dissolution, not divorce. But that was a month ago that I let him know that. And then last week I asked him what his plans are and to let me know if he is just waiting for money, income return time, or when he plans on us filing, and he will not answer me. I let him know that I am in limbo and so hopeful, and that it would be nice if he could at least let me know his plans and give me some closure or knowledge so I'm not so blindsided and hurt all over again. He never brings it up though. I refuse to pay or initiate it at this point. She was in a long-term relationship but not married. She left her boyfriend and moved out of their home a week after my HB got his app. So, appears they both left their significant others for each other. I have let his mom and cousin know about the affair and my family. He is aware of this. Regarding the 180, I have read about it and agree to some of it but find it very hard to do consistently. He's over twice a week for our kids too. I have backed off now and try to never initiate contact unless I have to about the kids, but sometimes slop up and just text that I still love him and we will always welcome him back when he's ready. I no longer beg like I used to, which is a step in the right direction. I guess I need to stop giving him reassurance and telling him I love him too. It's so hard because I feel like a lot of the problem is that he thought I didn't love him. It feels like it's okay and I am in it for the long haul and okay with that. But then suddenly I'm freaking out again and anxious as heck, needing reassurance and wanting to reach out to him to get tea but can't because I know I won't get it. And I'll most likely be hurt even more. So, I do what my friends tell me, which is to not contact him. To back off. Well, I try to do that. Tonight, I want to call Jim so badly and profess my love and desire to work to save out family, but I won't. I will be strong and face my emotions and not give in to them. So hard though. Thanks for listening. It really is a roller coaster, mostly downs. So, do I really push him away even more each time I reach out or seem desperate? I guess it makes sense, but he thought I didn't love him. He was hurt. I cheated on him 2 years ago, and I didn't help him to feel better, and I was an alcoholic. I have stopped drinking when he left me, which is a blessing. So just wanting some opinions on 180, or backing off. I guess. Should I? Also, he has said numerous times that I am manipulative or telling him how he feels and that he felt trapped and that he would only come back if he wanted to, which Def would want, but I guess he thinks me begging or asking is me being manipulative or controlling. So I need to stop. So hard. Well, my New Year's resolution is to leave my husband alone and only contact when absolutely necessary. About the kids, he has repeatedly told me that he feels I am manipulative and controlling and he would only come back if he wanted to, which makes sense, and it seems every time I plead it makes him angry and seems to push him further away and also to conclusions. So, I pray for God to give me the strength and the patience to carry on this. It's so hard. I have always been an instant gratification, impatient, impulsive person and need to change this. Any suggestions to help would be greatly appreciated. Was rough one for me as after midnight the tears fell hard. Just wanted to say I am proud of myself sticking to my New Year resolution. So far so good. I know, it's only been 3 days law, but have not contacted, and he called last night to say goodnight to the girls and normally doesn't. Also saw him this morning. He comes over on his off days to watch the girls, and I didn't say much, just asked him to feed the dog and said goodbye nicely. No telling him I love him or anything. Go me. I want to run and hug him and kiss him, but what the heck. Now time to see if he misses me and what it feels like without any pleading or love you from me. I pray this helps. Also, I know if it does not bring him back nothing will, and that it will help me to get started moving on. Last thing I want. I know people said to just move on. I literally am unable to at this point. I feel like everyone nowadays just gives up easing their pain too soon. What can one do? I don't know. It's tough, but my goal is to remain loving and back off and no pleading, but he knows he's welcome back and I am forgiving and work on us for life. Man, I wish he would wake the duck up. In a major fog. Scary. I've begged, pleaded, stopped drinking, apologized, offered changes, asked for MC, he refuses, fried daily, lost 20 pounds in a month, written heartfelt apology letters etc. Nothing nudges him, he has turned cold. What matters most, I agree, is the truth and saving our marriage and family. I have let everyone know about the affair, such as my family, his mom and cousin. And I've also messages his O's ex or possibly not ex on FB to let him know and see if he was aware. Have not heard back from him and he has not seen it yet, as my phone lets me know if the messages has been seen. HB knows I have let family know. He claims she is not the reason he left. Yet we all know that's why and what gave him the strength. Reason to give up and leave. I have also messaged the O on FB last week. I've known of her for 2 months. But never contacted her until then, as I did have a few glasses of wine and felt the need to. I let her know she is nasty and tearing a family apart etc. No response from her. BTW, she was not married but was in a long-term relationship and had a home with him, which she moved out of a week after my HB got his app. Clearly, they both left their significant others for each other. HB has her around the kids already and they know her. Makes me sick. So, you say until I am ready to let him go, I will have no power over the situation. So this means to back off and live my life without contacting him. I'm not necessarily being honest with myself if I am to tell myself at this moment that I am willing to let him go. Not ready. But can back off, I need to. Also, this O is complete opposite of me, so weird. So, he started talking divorce after 2 months separated and says he wants a dissolution where we agree to everything and less costly etc. I agreed to this on November 28. I was very honest and open and non-confrontational about it. I stated that if this is what he truly wanted, that I am ready, and also let him know that I had spoken with a lawyer and the costs involved and about the procedure and approx. child support. I also indicated it is still the last thing I want, but that I don't want us to fight or hate each other. I also asked if he would pay for it, as this is something he wanted. He said he would talk to his dad's friend, lawyer, and get back to me. I let him know that I will not sign a waiver so that his lawyer can rep him against me. He represented me in the past. Sorry, won't help in that department. So, then I asked him again a few weeks ago when he plans on doing this and what he's waiting for, whether it's money, to please let me know so that I can be prepared mentally and so I'm not so hopeful etc. Don't want to be blindsided again. He refuses to answer, hung up on me, and then still has not mentioned divorce again. Is he confused? Lazy? Is he too broke? I don't know. I hope he's confused, I guess. Also, on Christmas he told me he did miss me. I had asked him, and then told me the next day. I asked him if he would please think about coming home. He replied, I am thinking about it. But next day told me he thinks about it every day but always comes to same conclusion. Yes, I am desperate. He's working her way in more, being little mommy and fun. Sickening girl. And about custody, nothing currently filed. We are separated as in he moved out, but nothing filed with courts at all. I have the girls daily, except he watches them twice a week on his off days and they stay at his app occasionally, like once a week. So today and lately we've been getting along better. He came over for dinner 2 days ago. I had invited him as he said he was willing to give it a try if I thought it was a good idea. No issues that night, and he offered to help me make bed, clean hamster cage. Also, he came over today and helped take down the Christmas tree and all, and even put my laundry away, hung my clothes up. Weird, not sure if he's just trying to be friends. I can't really just be friends with him. I'm too attracted, and too in love. Anyway, he's being really now and we're getting along, it's nice. So, I'm just trying to create positive circumstances to hopefully let him see positivity, and that we can work on us. Since I have backed off and went out and have been acting happier, he is coming around more and helpful and friendly. Last night when he left after watching the kids, he said bye to me and paused at the doorway and looked at me. He never does this usually, and typically, each time he's leaving I say something like I love you, or please come home, and he paused for a sec and was expecting me to say those things but did not. Just said bye. It was a nice feeling. Lol, I have been dating. He doesn't know this really but probably suspects so. And I will def not be having any sex with any man until divorced. And not with HB until he is back for good and remorseful. I hate dating though really. I got online a few weeks ago basically just to try and move on some. Make myself feel somewhat better and meet new friends perhaps. I don't know, not ready for any relationship really. I still want and pray for my HB back. I'm just trying to are happier for me and kids and be patient and back off. Give him space. A possibility to miss me and see positive changes and all. I am such an impatient person though. My mind thinks of him still almost all day. I wish I could just turn it off. I guess it has been getting a lot better with time though. Hanging in here by a thread I feel. Also, my job is suffering because I am so caught up in this emotional pain it's hard to focus as much as I should and used to. I just started this job in April and HB left in Sept. So anyway, I doubled my income with this job. They hired me on from a broker I worked for. They were my client and hired me direct. Great job, loves it, but very detail-oriented and demanding. Hard to be on top of it all through this. So not only am I beating myself up about my failed marriage and HB leaving for another woman, gut punch to my self-esteem, but also now beating myself up about my work. Anyway, I wanted to mention that I make more money than my HB now, and I feel like this may have a little something to contribute to why he left, because he has always been a really hard worker and prided himself as the breadwinner. I feel like he is jealous and feels inferior or not needed now. And or also that he could leave as I can afford to make it on my own now. So, I totally messed up, and when we talked about our morning plans for the kids since he's off and watches them on his days off, I asked him to come back and he was so mean to me I am in tears and the pain starts all over again. I am so upset. He is so cold and said he will never be with me or live with me ever again and that he'd rather be single. I said, how would you even know as you're not single? You have a GF you left me for. I can't believe this, as he is so not even remotely the same man. I knew he has drastically changed. It's scary. I'm a mess. I wish I could stop crying and caring. I keep getting my hopes up and crashing and burning over and over. I see the person I love in front of me, but it is just the skin. The man I loved, my soulmate, the man who would never leave me, protect me, give me a wonderful life, had left that physical shell a long time ago. I'm so sad. And you are checked out. I can't understand why a man wouldn't want to save his marriage and family, as much as I and we do. And this today, even though you've let me down, I forgive you and still love you. An agape love. Please read my truths and have faith. Turn this around right in your time. So, I messed up. Back to backing of an 180, as much as possible. I've decided at the end of this month, if he still hasn't approached anything about dissolution again, then I will ask to have a meeting or convo with him to discuss exactly which path we are on and to see what the wait is for, etc. I need some closure or some hope. Things suck. My world seems so bleak. So tonight has been one of the worst yet. HB comes over with kids and starts tearing me down, mean-spirited I feel like. He's saying in front of my daughter how she's going to need counseling and is not normal for her age, and then twists and tells me that if I won't let him father her, he will only father the other daughter, his, even though my 8-year-old has been raised by him since 6 months old and only knows him as her father. I just have been so calm and as loving unconditionally as possible for the last 4 months to him, only angry twice toward him, so tired of him beating me down intentionally, so I flipped my lid and ran up and hit him and kicked him and yelled nasty things. A very dumb move. Things got crazy, he threw me down. He then leaves, and I immediately apologized and said it was wrong of me, but so in pain and angry I got out of control and would never again because I won't. That was crazy. I texted him, I'm sorry, I've said this so many times. I have been beating myself up for months over what I did in the past. I also am upset and angry and more so sad and wounded to my core, and I acted out on desperation tonight. I'm sorry, I mean it. It was wrong. You have to get that I am hurt, and I am. He responds saying you are exactly the same as you were. Responsible for nothing. Everything is somebody else's fault. I responded with, I didn't say anything like that. I apologized and said I was wrong. I am feeling horrible actually, but he's so damn mean and kicks me when I'm down constantly. But it's never okay to hit someone, I know that. Since he left, He has put full blame to every issue in our marriage to me. He owns up to zero demise or failures. 0. I'm starting to think that he has always been emotionally abusive and that I always blamed myself, and this has become a pattern and so strong that I didn't even realize it until now. He thinks other people are supposed to make him happy. So, I am growing now, but he had to jump into OW's arms to be happy and thinks she's his ticket now. Sad to say, but she's probably his next victim. He has done nothing but be extremely cruel and vindictive to me and made me feel responsible for all problems. I have fully believed him for so long. I'm starting to realize I am not solely responsible and that he was never truly there for me when I needed help. He just put me down. So, I am at work and here I am again, needed a break. HB came over this morning to watch the girlies and texted me from outside, "Are you ready?" He wanted to not be near me or see me, not to cross paths. I feel like he is so mean to me in every way that he possibly can be. This shows that to me. Anyway, I didn't say anything to him and he's keeping them overnight. This will be the first time I don't see my girls for a full day. Wow, I don't know anymore. I know I still want him to come home and work on this family and lost love that I believe can still be there. It is for me, but I am letting him go now. I need to be healthy and here for my girls, and I am going to focus on God and helping others through this desert time. Only thing is, I cheated on him several times years ago, and feel a whole lot of guilt and remorse for that. I have since it occurred, so I'm not sure if you read that through my other posts. It's almost like karma and I deserve it at this point, and therefore I feel like people make huge mistakes, but we are all only human and that he can be forgiven, but not something I can make him be. Remorseful, sad, and want to improve and save our family and love. But yes, I am seeing through this also and growing and learning it wasn't rift, as we were both looking for each other to fulfill one another. And he did emotionally abuse and put me down and was a Pia man for sure. But I know not intentionally. Update. Just wanted to publicly congratulate myself that I have not said I love you or asked HB to come home since I sent the text promising I would not and my goodbye. Okay, it's only been 6 days, but that's the best I've done and not going to stop. A recent text between us. I will never forgive you for what you did to me. How you treated me was cruel. You lied to me every day we were together. I'm sorry for you, me, and our children. You can't forgive me. Well, that says a lot. I can forgive and I can learn from mistakes and grow and we stay together, but you don't want to. I didn't lie to you every day. I do and did love you. You contributed as well, and you cared more about your job and the people there. I am sorry I hurt you. I've let you know this. It hurts me too. 2 wrongs don't make a right, and we're even. I can move past. How are we even? I left you. I never cheated on you. You were having an emotional affair and this isn't the first time. I have phone records, John, and talking to her while I was sleeping in the middle of the night, for months, and flirting at work every day, and we're still married. No, you never cheated. You're crazy. That didn't happen. I just want you to remember this, because you seem to think it's all my fault. You're the one who is unwilling. You won't forgive. You refuse to work on anything. You walked out on our family. You left us. You are not justified. You did engage in an affair. You've coldly turned your back on your wife when I've needed you the lost, and looking back, you were never really there to help in my hardest times. I'm very remorseful and I've been suffering. How do you think I got her phone number? That never happened, really. I agree that I wasn't the best wife or there for you either when you needed me. I agree. 8 years of lies and betrayal. Now you want to work on things damage done. That's your choice, and it's been done both ways, and it doesn't have to be this way. I cry for you every night almost. People can change. Enough said. Sometimes it takes a breakdown or crisis to reach someone. I'm sorry that was me. I'm sorry too. Well, don't be. I'm grateful in a bittersweet way, as it is clear this needed to happen, as unfortunate as it is. But to me that doesn't mean it couldn't be true and greater than before. If nourished, if cared for, that's what I want. But you, I can't make want that. Sadly, it's all I can say. Update. HB acting weird, coming around now that I am healing. He sees I am moving on and happy again and doing new things. He's questioning his decision, it's obvious. I honestly don't know how I feel about him anymore. He hurt me pretty bad and was overly cold. Just an update. I'm dancing again, listening to music again, taking yoga, and soon belly dancing classes. Having a life again. Couple weeks later. It's been some time. I'm doing so much better, just because I have had to. I still miss him, of course, but I've finally accepted it. I've had to, and he's been very friendly and helpful finally. He says he's happier and wants me to be happy. He doesn't sound like he's truly happy to me, and when I see him, I know him, but it is what it is, and I'm moving on. Who knows what will happen in future years from now. I'm being me and doing me again, and it feels great. I've also been dating a guy for about a month now, which obviously helps. He's so different from HB and very interesting and sweet. Who knows where things will go. Taking it semi-slow, trying to. How are you? Well, still no talk of divorce or future, just living day by day. I'm not bringing it up and neither does he, and I'm okay with that for now. Until I need to move in the summer, I guess. Got to figure out the house though. Not trying to rush or worry though currently. 2 months later, and I still long to reconcile, but not like I did before. I am no longer stuck, thank God. I feel much better, but there will always be that pain and sense of a deep loss inside me, buried mostly but can resurface. I have been in a relationship for about 3 months now. He seems great, we have been totally infatuated with each other and it's all still new. Lately, like today, I feel like it's too good to be true or something just isn't right. I feel like we have both really rushed into things and spend all of our free time together that we can, which I love. But at the same time it scares me. I'm afraid of being left again and afraid I am not taking enough time to be me and to heal more. We haven't talked about dissolution, divorce in quite some time. I am getting more money. The way things are now is he is still paying most of the mortgage and daycare expenses biweekly, and all health insurance through him. So, I might pushing it. And he seems okay for now, but I know when the unfortunate time comes for the paperwork and filing that I will be saddened again and it will be hard. Not looking forward to it at all. My comment: what do you think about this OP? Did she deserve what she got after she cheated? Or you think the husband was being a little bit too harsh? I thought both sides had their problems, but one pattern I notice is these long-hour jobs don't suit a long-term relationship. Do you agree? Comment down and I will start working on the second story of the day.